Alright, in today's video, I'm going to start a whole simple price action course on YouTube for free for you to understand what trading is. First of all, trading, to basically help you make it as simple as possible, trading is where you buy at a certain price or sell. You can buy or sell at a certain price, and if price goes up, so let's say if you get into a buy, so let's say you get into this buy, we're gonna mark this as buy, make this bigger for you for all my newbies, and it's okay to be a newbie. We was all there once in our lives. But let's say you're in a buy and this is price, so this is price you're gonna see fluctuating. These are called candlesticks, by the way. So these are candlesticks. You're gonna see these a lot. Trust me, every single day you're gonna see these. And these candlesticks will go up and down constantly. Now, depending on the time frame that you're on, and we're gonna talk about time frames later on, but depending on the time frame that you are on, this will fluctuate either fast or slow. Now, this is very important. Write this down. Depending on what time frame you're on, this will move either fast or slow. So once again, depending on what time frame you are on, these will move fast or slow. Now, with this being said, if you are in a buy, so if you place a buy, there's going to be most likely a blue button. If you place a buy, this price has to go above this level, above the price that you said it was going to buy above. It has to go above this level in order for you to make money, right? So that's just a plain and simple way. And then vice versa. So if you think it's going to sell, right? If you think it's going to sell, this price has to go under that level that you said price is going to sell under. So if you said it's going to sell under this level, it has to go under this level, and then you make money, right? So that's just what trading is. I'm not going to get into, like, you can go chat GBT and Google the rest, but that's the basic dummy version of what trading is. If you pick a point and you say price is going to go above it, then you make money if it goes above it. If you say it's going to go under it, then you make money if it goes under it. Now, this is not gambling. Your moms, your dads, your aunties are going to look at trading as gambling. People are going to tell you that trading is gambling, but I am going to show you that trading is not gambling, and you can have a strategic, logical reason and analysis of why you think price is either going to go up or down. And throughout this course, I'm going to show you time and time and time again that it happens over and over and over. And no, I'm not always right. So no, I'm not always right, but I've been doing this for 4 years. I've made over $14 million from trading. I haven't sold a course. I don't sell any courses. I don't sell any signals. I don't do any of that. I'm just here to show you that trading is possible. Trading is something that you can take and learn, and you can do it for the rest of your life. Like, I think if I started with $0, I would pick back up my phone, probably get a job, make like 100, 200 bucks, and put it into a trading account and try my best to make money from it. So right now, I don't know if I can show you. I don't know if you'll see it this way, but right now, I can't see my screen, so I don't know if you can see my screen. But right now, I am floating $2,000. It is 10:30 a.m. and I am just trading, right? I think price is gonna go up. So I don't know if you can see my screen, but I think price is gonna go up. As you can see, I have a buy in. Once again, I'm not sure if you can really see my screen, but I'm in a buy right now. I think price is going to go up, and it is making me money, $2,000. As you can see, it fluctuate. And over time, you'll have emotions, have all these things going in your head as you're making money. But later down the course, I will explain. I don't know how many videos this is going to be, but every time I make a video, every time I make a video, I'm going to just throw it in there if it seems fit. So with this being said, since you already know a little bit about trading, you already should feel a little bit comfortable. You don't know exactly what you're getting into, but I'm going to show you. So first and foremost, you are going to need a Forex broker, you're going to need TradingView, and you're going to need a just Wi-Fi in general, right? You're just going to need those things. I have a broker link down below that you can use. You don't have to use mine. It's okay. I don't care. And you can use TradingView as well. TradingView you need. This is what we're on right now. TradingView. You need this. All right? So those things you need, get out the way, and make sure you also get a crypto brokerage as well. I personally use Coinbase. I've been using Coinbase for a while now. I've also used Kraken. You can use that too as well, but I like Coinbase now because they have instant withdrawals, so it's pretty good. But this is how you're going to deposit and withdraw your money into your bank account and out of your bank account, and vice versa. So if you want to deposit, you're going to buy Bitcoin. Once you buy the Bitcoin, you're going to deposit into your broker, and then when you're ready to withdraw, after you've made money from trading, you will withdraw from your broker into your crypto portfolio and then into your bank account. So with all that being said, you're probably asking yourself, okay, how do I trade, right? So I'm going to start off with the basics, the fundamentals. And this video is very, very important because the fundamentals are very, very important. It's like dribbling a basketball. Like, you have to know how to dribble before you start doing the crossovers and the hizzies and the shazams and all that, right? I don't know anything about basketball. I don't care. But you need the fundamentals. You need to know how to dribble. So I'm gonna show you how to dribble, right? So 2 things: uptrends, downtrends, and 3 things actually: uptrends, downtrends, consolidation. Know the 3. Know when these 3 are happening. This will save you from a lot. And this is what this video is going to be about: uptrends, downtrends, consolidation, how to identify, right? So first, uptrends or downtrends, we're going to start with first, right? Downtrends. Now, we are going to look at this and we're going to tell ourselves, this is a downtrend. Say this to yourself right now. This is a downtrend. You say it to yourself, whatever I'm looking at, so I'm you right now. Whatever I'm looking at, I'm going to see this as a downtrend. So repeat that to yourself. Whatever I'm looking at, I see this and it is a downtrend. That's first and foremost. Now, answer the question, why do I see this as a downtrend, right? This is where you start to learn. Now, a downtrend consists of lower lows and lower highs. So in this case, this is a lower high, and this is a lower low, right? Why do we call this a lower low and a lower high? Now, first, you need to remember there is highs and there is lows, right? Right? These are two things that I look at. Lows, highs, lows, right? You start off with these, and this is what will determine if you get a lower high or a lower low. So let's say we have a low. In this situation, this will be a low, right? So this is our low. Let's just say this is our low. Why is this our low? So we're gonna backtrack and we're gonna show you this. I'm going to show you like this. This is our low. Why is this our low? Because price got to a certain point, it got to a certain decrease, and it pivoted. So this is the lowest point we can be, low, right? This is the lowest point we can be. Also with the high, this is our highest point that we can be, right? This is the highest point that we can be. Now, this is where you can identify trends. This is where you start to be able to identify trends, right? So with this low and with this high, we can now say, okay, price has reached a certain level and this is our low, this is our high. Now, how we can determine what a trend is because we'll get this, but then what comes next will determine the trend. So if we have this low and we have this high, if price breaks the low, right? If price breaks the low, this now becomes our lower low. Lower low. This is lower than the previous low. Common sense. Lower than our previous low, so this would make our lower low, right? Same thing with lower highs. So if our high is made and it is lower than the previous high, then this will be our lower high, right? This is our lower high. Now, from this point on, this is where the downtrend continues, or this is where everything will play into part. Later on, I'm gonna get into ICC, which is the way that I trade. It's a 3-step process that basically shows you how I enter, exit, and use a stop loss. All these terms will be learned later on down the line, but I'm just going to show you the fundamentals of a trend, because you need to know this first. You need to learn how to dribble the ball before you can start doing crossovers, shimmies, layups, and fucking 3-point shots, right? So this is what you need to know first. So with this being said, we're gonna have our lower high, and then we're gonna have another lower low, lower high, lower low. So take your time to look at this. Let me go back. Take your time to look at this and say, this is a trend, this is a downtrend. Now, before I start showing you candles and stuff, we'll probably make that into another video, but before I start showing you candles, this is a downtrend. So go ahead and classify this as a downtrend, right? Downtrends. And this same way can be used. So we can take this, we can copy it over, and I'm pretty sure if I press, it just does that. But if we take this and we rotate it, I'm pretty sure I could do that with just this, but I guess it's not wanting to do it. I think it's just rotating the whole thing. But with this, we'll just start over. The same way will be an uptrend, right? So remember, there's lows and highs into the market, right? There's lows and highs in the market. So this is our highest point. So this is our high, right? Before all of this happened, so we're gonna put this here, we're gonna put this here, we're gonna drag this here. Before all this happened, we had a high, right? This is the highest point we can get in our life. High. Highest point. It's like smoking drugs, or like smoking weed, right? You smoke weed, and it's like you smoke weed and you're like, yo, this is the highest I can get, right? This is the highest I can get. And then you start doing other drugs and you're like, dang, you start fucking, I don't know, doing cocaine, and then you're like, dang, this is the highest I can get. Like, life just gets higher and higher, right? So the same way with price, this is the highest you think price can get, and then price ends up making a higher high, right? Price ends up making a higher high, and once price has a higher high, it ends up making a higher low. So now we have a higher high, and then with that higher high, we have to come back down, and then price is going to make that higher low. So I forgot to mark this part, so higher low. And this is our high, this is our low, and then this is a higher high than the previous one. So this one is higher than the previous, or this one is higher than the previous one. This low is higher than the previous low, right? So we have higher low because it's higher than the previous low. Now, with this being said, what you're seeing right now, hold on, let me mark this as uptrend, right? What you are seeing right now, I want you to put this and drill this into the back of your head. Price will not break these levels on purpose on the higher time frame, and we're going to get into time frames later. I trade the higher time frame because it's strong. You get more money, because I was going to say points, but you don't even know what fucking points are yet. But you make more money by staying on that higher time frame. There's people that trade on the smaller time frames, but that comes with experience. I am trying to teach you the fastest way, not guaranteed, but the fastest way to start making some kind of money fast, right? But with that being said, price will not break this structure. Price will not break an uptrend or downtrend unless it's intended to reverse or it is consolidating. Now you're probably asking, what the fuck is a consolidation, right? So now I want you to remember uptrend, downtrend. Remember that. You got the high, the low, the higher low, lower high, lower low, low and high, right? So remember that, uptrend, downtrend. Now, what is consolidation? Consolidation is basically when a high and a low is being, I guess you could say, broken back and forth. So you will see a high and then you would expect a higher low, but instead you have a low being broken and it is just sideways. So it's not going in any direction. It is normally breaking higher highs, higher lows. It's breaking everything. It has no rules. And one thing about trading is everything has to follow a rule. You have to follow the rules. Charts normally have to follow rules. Fundamentals follow rules. Technical analysis follow rules. Everything follows the rules. You need a plan. You need all this. Everything has rules. Life has rules. You have rules. Trading has rules. So if consolidation is breaking the rules, you do not want to put yourself around something that is breaking the rules. It's like common sense. Trading always, for me, relates back to life because it's exactly what like trading and life mirrors each other. You wouldn't put yourself around criminal friends. You wouldn't put yourself around criminals because you know they break the rules. So in trading, why would you put yourself around people, or why would you put yourself around a price or a market where it constantly breaks the rules? You want to find something that follows the rules. I trade NASDAQ. I've been trading it for 4 years. I've made over millions of dollars on it, and it breaks rules sometimes, and that's when you stay away from the markets. And then when it doesn't break rules, you're always making money. So with this being said, always put yourself in a predicament where you are with a trend that is following the rules. You don't want to be in consolidation. I'm not going to explain more about consolidation, but this, you do not want to trade. Consolidation, don't trade it. I'm telling you now, don't trade it. How can you identify it? Identify it by when price is, you're looking for that uptrend, you start to see your high and you start to see your low, and then you see your higher high, but then you start seeing it break down to the downside, then get away from it, stay away from it. Because then that is price showing you it is consolidating or it's breaking rules. You don't want to be around trends that are breaking rules. You want trends to follow the structure that I have shown you. It's going to be complex. It's not going to look as pretty as what I'm showing you, but with these in mind, I think this will pretty much help you along the way and help you overall as a beginner. But this is episode 1, and I'm going to continue to keep making these videos. So with that being said, take this into consideration and overall look at this and say, hey, I understand what an uptrend and downtrend is, and I know what consolidation is. So consolidation for you people, consolidation, boom. Right? So next time we're going to talk about, or I might as well just show you an example of what uptrends and downtrends look like, right? So take a picture of this, take a screenshot of this, whatever you need to do as a beginner. Take whatever notes you need to take. I'm gonna keep this up for like 2 more seconds. Waiting on you. All right, you're good. We're gonna remove this and we're going to take this. Now, what you are looking at might seem a little crazy, but I kid you not, over time, it's going to make sense. So a sneak peek, I like to use the one hour time frame. In this situation, I think we should use the, let's say, 4 hour time frame. Let's see if we can find something that makes super sense to you. We're gonna use this for example, right? Super sense. Price is going to have, let's say this is our high here, right? We have our high and then we have our low. As you can see, price has our high, has our low. As we can also see, price comes up a little bit, makes a new high, but this high is lower than the previous high. So now we have a lower high right here, right? We can say HL, and then we have our low right here, right? Our low. And then we have our high up here, right? So now we have our LH, price goes down and we create a low. Well, how do you know that's a low? because price reaches a certain point before it starts to make a shift in another direction. So we have our lower high once again, because this high is lower than the previous one. So we have our LH, and then we have our lower low. So lower than the previous low, which is right here, right? Or you can even use this one down here, whichever one fits for you. But this one is a support, and we're going to talk about that later. But we have a lower low, a lower high, and then we have a new low, which means this low is lower than the previous one, so that is another lower low. And then we have another lower high, because this high, as you can see, it was going up high, but it didn't go higher than this one, and vice versa. We can literally track this all the way down, right? We can track this all the way down. But that's just basic fundamentals. As we go more in depth, you will start to understand what you can mark, what you can't mark, what to look at, what not to look at, when to trade, when not to trade. Just continue to watch the videos that I put out. But if you have any questions on the basic trends or the basic fundamentals of finding a trend, let me know, comment down below. But this is the basics of finding a trend.